Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady and our story for today. Yes, I work in the airport. No, I don't work for the airlines. I hope you like it and subscribe for future videos. So, some background. I work for a rental car company in a very small airport. Literally, the airport consists of one room with TSA working as a partition between the entrance to the airport and the gate to board the plane. The front desk of the rental car company is rather large with the company name on it. It's also the first thing travelers see when they enter the airport, whether it's coming off the plane or coming in to board the plane. So I'm used to people coming in and thinking we're an all-knowing information booth for the airport, regardless of the large yellow wall behind me or the big letters on the desk. Typically, the information that people are looking for is easy enough for me to answer, i.e., when does Alaska Airlines open? What do I do about parking? Where is TSA, etc.? All the questions are a bit annoying since the airport's only one room and all it would take is for someone to walk 5 steps in any direction to get to the right location, but it is what it is. Also, it's worth mentioning this. It's FAA regulation that airlines have to close down 40 minutes prior to departure. After that, you cannot check in for your flight and you cannot get a boarding pass. And that's on all systems. You can't check in on your phone or electronic kiosks with less than 40 minutes before departure. To be clear, this is done for homeland security reasons and is not due to staffing issues. Once the 40-minute mark passes, all staff and passengers have to go to the secure side of the airport and cannot come back until after the flight takes off. At larger airports, these regulations are either not as well known or not a huge problem since going through security usually causes people to check in for their flight with an hour or two to spare. But at our little hole-in-the-wall airport, people frequently come in with less than 40 minutes until their flight because TSA takes less than 5 minutes to get through, regardless of the fact that Alaska Airlines sends email updates to let you know to come 2 hours before your flight. With all that being said, let's move on to the actual IDWHL moment. A customer approached my desk to pick up his rental car. I go through all the paperwork and send him on his way. He comes back a few days later to turn in his car and catch his flight. It's pretty standard with our customers that they're usually pretty avid travelers and have their travel plans perfected to a T. So the customer hands me the keys to the rental, a print of his receipt, and I let him know that Alaska Airlines closes soon, so if he needs to get his boarding pass or check a bag, to do it soon. The customer grunts and carries on his way. I've done my part, so I'm getting ready for the customers that are coming in on the next flight. I hear an Alaska agent make their stereotypical 5 minutes until the desk closes announcement. I keep doing my thing. Now, usually there are 3 people working my booth, but due to some complex staffing issues that aren't worth getting into, I was the only one working that day. Additionally, it was one of our more high-volume days, so I was alone doing a 3-person job by myself and attempting to get all the cars I needed ready. As I finished getting the last car ready that I needed, the car the customer just returned, I come in from my parking lot to see the customer standing at my desk. He's talking on the phone, making it difficult to talk to him and find out what he needs. Obviously upset that I wasn't at the desk constantly, the entire exchange goes like this. Customer to the phone. Yeah, I can't find anyone that effing works here. Puts itinerary down on the desk in front of me. Customer to me. Check me in. Me. Sorry, sir, but I don't work for the airlines. I just do the rental cars. Customer to phone. Hold on a sec. She's being dumb. To me. What do you mean you can't check me in? You work for the airport, don't you? Me. Yes, I work in the airport, but I don't work for the airlines. If you need a boarding pass, you need to talk to the airlines. Customer. There's no one there. Me. Yes, so they have to close 40 minutes prior to departure per FAA regulations. You're going to have to wait until they come back after the next flight takes off. At this point, the inbound flight has landed and my customers are lining up behind the man at the counter, but the man wasn't willing to accept my information. Customer. But I'm supposed to be on that plane. Me. Yes. So, unfortunately, without a boarding pass, there's nothing anyone else can do. You're going to have to wait for an agent to come back and get you rescheduled on the next flight out. Customer. Well, go to the back and get one of them for me. I'll wait. Goes back to talking to someone on the phone that's been pressed to his ear the entire time. Me. I'm sorry, sir. My booth is completely separate from the airlines. There's no way for me to grab someone from the back. Customer to the phone. Sorry, hold on. Seems like nobody here can do their jobs. To me. If you can't get anyone, how am I supposed to make my flight? Me. Unfortunately, you've missed it. You'll need to wait for an Alaska agent to come back and reschedule or call the 800 number on their podium. Customer: this is just ridiculous. Give me my effing car back. I'll just drive to the other airport myself. Me: unfortunately, I can't do that. I go on to explain how I didn't have the availability to send a car one way and how I had to honor my reservations in the order they've come in. So everyone piled up in line behind him needed to get their cars first. However, if he was willing to wait for an hour, I could take care of all the customers in line and go out and clean a car to get him to his destination. He didn't like that idea either. Something about how he would miss his connecting flight if he waited an hour. But the drive to the next destination would take 3 hours anyway, so he was going to miss his connecting flight regardless. Customer: you have two options. You're either checking me in for this flight right now or get me someone who can. We go back and forth for another 5 minutes about how I can't do anything for him, but he wasn't going to leave until I did something. At this point, the customers behind him start getting irritable. It's 7 p.m. They just want to get into their rental cars and get to their hotels. Customer handing me his phone: please explain to my boss how you refuse to let me on this plane. Me: I'm not refusing to let you on. I just don't work for the airlines. So I take the phone and explain the situation to his boss. Me: unfortunately, your employee missed their flight. It didn't matter that I told him to check in, that the airlines made announcements, or that any other airport would have had this same problem. He was more concerned with his phone than with his travel plans. I hung up the phone, passed it back to him, and ushered him out of the way and toward the direction of the airline desk, where he spent the next 30 minutes crying and blubbering to try and get on the flight that had already taken off. The next flight wasn't until 5 a.m. the next day. Thankfully, the rest of the people in line were abnormally nice to me. I think they must have heard how rude the man was being. I was finally freed today. Just a quick encounter I had with a crazy lady today. My kids have the day off from school, so I took the day off from work and we had a daddy-daughter's day. I took them out to breakfast, then a trip to the mall. We started off in one of the department stores and my daughters decided to start looking there for new outfits. Now, I love my daughters, but shopping is absolutely not my thing. So while they're looking for clothes, I'm standing over by one of the counters, waiting and reading on my phone. I hear someone make a noise behind me, so I look up and there's a lady standing there with a huge armful of clothes. I figured she was heading to check out, so I moved over to the other side of the counter. She says, "Excuse me," and I figured she's talking to one of the employees. A few seconds later, she yells, "Excuse me!" And I look up to see what's going on. That's when I realized she was talking to me. By this time, people are staring at us, including my daughters. This is the rest of the encounter. Me equals me. CL equals crazy lady. Me: yeah? CL: don't yeah me, take these. I don't want any of them. She sticks the clothes out towards me. Me: yeah, I don't work here. CL: I don't care what department you work in, take the damn clothes. Now, on any other day, I would have simply told her to piss off and go find someone who works there, but since I was out with my daughters, I decided to handle it a little differently. Me: excuse me? CL: she's getting really pissed at this point and yells again, "Take the damn clothes!" And this time she shoves the clothes into my chest. Me: I look down at the clothes for a second, then look at her with a huge smile on my face. Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free! And I threw the entire pile of clothes back in her face. She was standing there stunned, shocked. People in the store were cracking up laughing. My oldest daughter was trying to hide because she was so embarrassed, which is nothing new. I walked over to my girls and asked if they found anything they liked. They hadn't, so we left. As we were walking out, I could see CL yelling at a couple of actual employees who looked like they were doing their best not to laugh also. Short and sweet. So this actually happened on Thanksgiving. I needed to stop by Walmart to pick up a few extra ingredients for a dessert I was making. Pineapple upside-down cake for those interested. It was delicious. Once I gathered all my stuff, milk, eggs, etc., I was headed to the pain reliever aisle for some good old aspirin. Being the only quiet and timid girl in an extremely loud family is a perfect recipe for a migraine. As I was looking around, a sweet older woman approached me. Note, I came straight off of work, so I was wearing black pants, a black sweater, it was cold, and black flats. I wasn't dressed anywhere near the Walmart employee ensemble, but I think what threw her off was my lanyard. My place of employment is very strict on security. Every employee is required to wear a bright yellow ID and a lanyard at all times. Later on, I noticed a few Walmart employees have to carry around a similar yellow ID, so I really think that's what made her think I worked there. Thus, the following conversation ensued. Sweet old lady, SOL. Excuse me, miss, can you tell me where I can find this product name? Me, turning around. Huh? Sweet old lady opens her mouth to ask again before she realizes I'm not wearing a Walmart shirt. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you worked here. Me, being a total dingus and realizing I hadn't taken off my lanyard in the car. Oh, it's no trouble, really. You said you were looking for product name? I think I know where it is. I can help you if you like. And I did. I won't disclose what she was looking for because honestly it's nobody's business but hers, but it was relatively close to the aisle I was in, and after a quick search, I found what she was looking for. She was so grateful for the help and wished me a happy holidays, and that was it. Definitely made me feel great for the rest of the day. Like I said, I know this isn't a very entertaining story, but I hope it brings a little positivity to you. Happy holidays. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you soon.